5 seconds to go. Start. What is certain, though, is the rising cost of food production. Prices of fertilizers, pesticides, diesel, and animal feed are all surging. This will lead to higher minimum support prices this fiscal since they are pegged on changes in cost of production. MSPs also factor in international price trends. Prices of wheat and sugar, India's major exports, and vegetable oils, a major import, have skyrocketed post Russia Ukraine war. Already pricey edible oils are set to get even costlier with Indonesia's recent ban on refined palm oil exports adding pressure. No wonder then food inflation is expected to rise. Finally, core inflation, a barometer of demand pressures, will continue to climb despite an environment of weak demand thanks to the persistence of supply shocks. For producers, the bump up in international prices across energy and metal commodities since the war has brought more pain. The average wholesale price index linked WPI inflation last fiscal was at 12.9%, the highest in 30 years, and non food WPI inflation was at 15.7%. But a weak and uneven demand recovery means producers had limited ability to pass on cost pressures to consumers. Such pass through has been partial at best. For most goods, CPI inflation has been much lower than the corresponding WPI last fiscal. The pattern of recovery is also uneven across different segments, with contact intensive services lagging formal manufacturing and rural wages slowing in contrast with rising wages in the urban formal sector. All this is reflected in the pattern of pass through to consumers. CPI inflation for services at 5.1% in fiscal 2022 has not risen to the same extent as for goods at 6.2% under core category excluding petrol and diesel. Within goods, too, great pass through is seen in goods consumed by upper income segments such as passenger cars, paints, and packaged food items. But contact based services will catch up sooner or later as restrictions become a thing of the past. Moreover, S&P Global's PMI data shows that input cost pressures have been higher for services than goods. This will lead to broadening pressure on core inflation. The last time we saw such broad basing of inflationary pressures was after the global financial crisis. India's CPI inflation averaged 9.2% annually between fiscals 2012 and 2014. Food inflation averaged 9.8% and core 8.6%. In fiscal 2022, these were at 3.8% and 6.0% respectively. Together, they have 86% weight in the CBI basket. Fuel inflation was slightly lower at 10.9% fiscals 2012 to 2014 compared with 11.3% fiscal 2022. The difference this time around is consumer demand, which remains weak and will limit the extent of pass through. Forecasting inflation in such uncertain times is fraught with risk. The RBI has predicted minus 5.7% consumer inflation this fiscal, while professional forecasters see it at 5.6%. The odds currently favor a higher inflation print and a rate hike in June. Stop.